Happy Sunday and welcome to another episode here of the Murder Mentality. I always love these ones after church because I'm feeling really spiritually fired up. Had some really difficult conversations in the last 20 minutes. That's good. One of our things here today at church was about emotional baggage, but more importantly, our blind spots. And I've talked about this before. You know, we don't know what we don't know. And what that means isn't that you don't know the things you don't know. What it means is that you're not aware that you even don't know the things that you don't know. So like it's layers upon layers of ignorance when it comes to the things we don't know. And so that means that our spiritual, physical, and emotional and intellectual blind spots are exactly that. They're blind spots. You can't see what's in your blind spot because you're blind to it. So we have to invite those people in our lives that are willing to give us a real perspective. Oh, what's up, Stanley? We have to invite those people in our lives that are able to give us some actual information and tell us some things that we fucking probably don't want to hear sometimes. And the best way to really understand if it's something that you should need to hear, our pastor said that today too, and I've said this a million times as well, is if you get defensive, it's probably true. Because the reality is that there's only two reasons why you ever get defensive when somebody says something. One, you're afraid that they believe it's true. And if you really understand that it's the truth, you shouldn't be worried about whether or not they believe it or not, because the truth don't need a hype man. Or two, you know it's true, but you don't want to believe it's true. And I am going to tell on myself here in a major fucking way. God, this is so uncomfortable, but it's so important for me to do this because I find that I get way more accountable to things when I put it out there in the universe and I just get real authentic, okay? My biggest blind spot in my life is that I am a fucking super powerful empath, and that is both a great, awesome thing, but a bad thing, because what it's caused me to do, and this is something I learned through my childhood with my mother too, is that to want to solve all the problems for everybody else. I emotionally take on the responsibility as if it's my issue to help other people solve their pain points. But I can't do that for you. And in fact, if I actually actively put my hands in your situation to try to help you with something that's causing you pain, and especially if it's something that I know you need to learn, I'm actually keeping the lesson from you. I'm denying you the lesson by trying to help you. And so that's what my talk today is about how important it is for us to allow people to have their lessons. And we're going to take it a step further, and I'm going to make you fucking uncomfortable, especially your kids. Okay? We want to deny our family members pain. We want to deny the people who we love from having to feel pain. We want to deny pain from ourselves. We run from it constantly. But I need you to comprehend something so fucking powerful. There's nothing I've ever learned in my fucking life that didn't hurt. Fuck, that's so true. There's nothing I've ever learned in my life that didn't fucking hurt. That didn't hurt. Learning this lesson of allowing other people to have their pain fucking hurts me. Man, it's hard sometimes. Man, it's so hard to admit that if I try to fucking help somebody else in a situation that they let happen to themselves, that I'm just setting them up for a bigger failure down the road. And what am I going to do? Save them from that too? If I try to save you from this one, then I have to save you from that one. And then this one, and then this one. There's like an old Chinese proverb that is, if you save somebody's life, you're now responsible for it. And I believe that that's what they are referring to in this. I believe that they're referring to the fact that is if you save people from their pain in the situations that they find themselves in, now they not only look to you to save them in the future, but you're also feeling obligated because you've done it once. Ooh, man, it's so hard. Oh, it's fucking hard, man. I've been through this emotional roller coaster lately, but it's so powerful because I'm fucking learning. I'm learning. And you guys can and will too. Once you start running into the pain instead of away from it. Feel that shit. Let it wash over you. Have that fucking panic attack. But then when you get done, ask yourself, why did this happen? What is it exactly that I made or did that caused me to be in a position where I was so fucked up emotionally? And for me, man, I'm a control freak. All right. I want to drive everything around me. Like when people ask me to give input on their tattoos, on what I would think, man, I want to tell them how I would tattoo it. But I have to rein it in. And maybe most of the time what I try to do is just tattoo it like you would, dog. Have fun, man. Do a fucking original you tattoo. Right? But that goes for everything, man. Like I have to realize that I just want to drive every situation. I want to have control over everything. And one of the other parts too, man, is that I love people dearly. Deep in my heart, I love people so much. And I know the emotional pain and baggage that I've carried in my life for fucking decades. And I want to save people from that. But nobody ever saved me. As hard as I fucking wanted it to, my mom couldn't save me. And somebody who I respect dearly said something today. When you realize that nobody's fucking coming to help you is when the point when you start to really become a man. When you realize that there's no fucking rescue crew on the way and it's up to you. It's the moment when you fucking really start your journey into manhood. I've learned that dozens of times. I've learned that from quitting fucking dope. I've learned that from fucking losing my fiance. I've learned that from owning a business, from losing a business, from fucking losing everything I've ever owned dozens of times probably. At least a dozen. All right? But the important part is that through that pain, I learned so much. But right now I'm having to learn a different type of commitment. The type of commitment I'm having to learn in my life right now is to not allow myself to be emotionally manipulated, even if people aren't trying to emotionally manipulate me. It's having to learn to allow people to have their process. When it's saying, let them have their process, it's not saying, let them learn it at their own pace. It's saying that they're going to have to cock it up and fuck themselves up and hurt themselves until they're like, God damn, I don't want to put my hand on that burner no more. You can't fix that for them. I can't tell you enough times in a row to quit putting your fucking hand on the hot burner. If you keep doing it and have it stick, it has to stick because you burned yourself bad enough that you don't fucking want to touch it anymore. But again, man, my issue, a big issue of mine, which I'm absolutely learning, is that I can only provide an example and boundaries. I can only tell you, no, I will not do that, and then continue to be the man that I know I am. I can't attempt to implant my values into your fucking head. You have to come up with your own values. You have to see through your relationship with your Creator and yourself what's important. Because you'll never see what's important if all you think it is everybody else's responsibility. I'll get real brutally honest. For any of those other parents out there, anybody that struggles with knowing how to parent, anybody that struggles with knowing how to deal with like exes or babies' moms or whatever the fuck, anybody that struggles with all of those people that you were either at one point in time really close to emotionally or that you are currently very emotionally close to because they're family, friends, loved ones, is simply you're not helping them. You're not helping them when you do things for them. Let me say that again. You're not helping your kids when you do things for them. I've always been a let me learn it myself kind of person. Most people are like that. I'd say 99.9% of us are like that. And sometimes we get dumb enough to fuck up just bad enough that we start saying, let's learn from somebody else. I'm not sure if I'll ever get out of that. I know that I have to run headfirst into that wall 8 times and be like, damn, that hurts. But what I'm coming to realize is that when I take those emotional burdens on for those other people to try to keep them from having pain, I'm denying them the lessons that their fucking Creator is teaching them. God is teaching them things, and I'm trying to save them from those lessons. Who the fuck do I think I am? Who the fuck do you think you are? You can't save people from their pain. You can't save them from the stress, the anxiety, and when they try to put it on you, man, if this isn't the fucking hardest word or string of words I've ever learned in my whole fucking life, nothing is, all right? No, I won't. No, you can't. No, I will not. No, that's not my problem. Because the reality is, when somebody comes to you trying to get you to help them fix it, your child or otherwise, your significant other or otherwise, you're denying them the ability to become a better version of themselves. You're making them fucking weaker by fixing it. God damn, I just stabbed myself in the heart. Fuck. Damn. But really, have you ever noticed that the kids that grew up with everything being provided to them, where anything they needed, their parents just bought, or anytime something came up, their parents fixed it for them, are fucking losers when they grow up? Have you ever noticed that those are the people that are just like, I'll call my mom and my dad, they'll fix it. You don't know who my dad is. No, when we don't fucking care, you're still going to prison. That's the way those fucking types of relationships pan out. I mean, spare the rod, spoil the child. I'm not saying you need to beat your kids, but you definitely, absolutely need to let them experience the pain of their choices. You must let people experience the pain of their choices, including yourself. Next time you put yourself in a shitty situation, I know for a fact you know the fucking answer already. You know how I know that? Because every time I've ever called somebody for help, I'm literally just talking myself through the solution I already know I should be doing, and I'm just not doing it because I just want to somehow not take the fucking hard road. The easier, softer road doesn't do shit for anybody. Ever. It never has. It never has. And I'm just at a point in time where one of the most difficult lessons I'm currently learning, because it hurts. It hurts. I hate watching my kids struggle with anxiety. I hate watching my employees struggle with not knowing what to do with something. I hate watching people that I care about have fucking emotional pain and damage because they've put themselves into a situation where they can't find a way out. But the reality is that it's much less painful for me to just say, man, I can empathize with that. I love you though. Than it is for me to come out of my progress and where I'm going and the things that I'm doing, take energy away from me and my fucking family, even if it is my family, because the captain can't be bothered. Literally, I'm not trying to say like I'm all big shit. The captain of a ship, if you're the leader of your family, can't be bothered to be the one putting a fucking Band-Aid on the fucking deck swab. All right? There's somebody else to do that. There's an infirmary for a reason. The captain's driving. All right? And if he says yes to every time they fucking need something, before you know it, the fucking ship is lost at sea. And realistically speaking, the pain from me watching them go through that is a sliver compared to the pain of what I'm going to know in the future if I solve it for them every time. And then they get in a situation where they're fucked. And I know it was me that fucked them over by fixing it every time. I know people, personally, old friends of mine, who have been in prison for 14 plus years. Probably going to go back soon, just got out. Almost certainly going to go back soon based off of the behaviors I'm already seeing. And I'm not going to call names out, but this exact person I'm talking about right now, his mom would let him do anything. His mom would solve every problem. All he had to do was get crazy enough with her or cry enough or whatever. But he could always count on going back to his fucking mom and having his mom fix the problem for him. That man's now a part of the Aryan Brotherhood. That man's been in prison for 14 plus fucking years. I'm 18, 14 fucking years. I'm gonna turn 38 next month, all right? Not only has he been in prison for 14 years, he's fucking been involved with stabbing people. Literally the reason why he did so much time, he caught a fucking charge for 2 years, fucking murdered somebody inside, shanked him to death, got out, all right? right back into the same behaviors because he never learned that he is his biggest asset and his biggest fucking liability. And through a conversation with Lacey when I was just at the end of my rope, because she has this she's really good at this, and I love it. I love you for it, honey. Just poking me. Saying the things that I fucking don't want to hear, that I need to hear. Love you so much for that. I realized that I can either be that mother or I can be the type of father that says no. Literally, the most important words you'll ever say to your children are no. It's the most important word ever. Have you ever noticed that the first thing that they fucking learn when they learn the word no is to say no all the time? It's because it's the most powerful fucking word. Almost one of the most powerful. It's probably the most singularly powerful word in the English language, right next to yes, potentially. But it depends, because no means that you can say yes to the right thing. But yes might mean that you've said yes to the wrong thing, and now you're fucking with the wrong thing, and you got to wait until you're done with that to say yes to the right thing. Okay? We say no because to say no is to exercise our freedom. The basic tenet of freedom is to be able to say no to whatever you want to. Literally, think about it. The ability to say no is 10 times more powerful than the ability to say yes. Because for no to exist, yes is implied, first of all. Second of all, for me to say no means that I'm actually considering the ramifications of what I say yes to. That means that I'm being intelligent. I'm thinking about it. I might not make the right decision. I might make mistakes, but I'll learn from those mistakes. When I say yes consistently, all I do is waste all my time, energy, and focus on everything else. You have to learn how to say no. I've heard this from a dozen fucking coaches. Well, it turns out, just like me, just like you, just like everybody, just like my kids, I have to reach a point where I want to fucking pull my non-existent hair out and punch fucking holes in walls and do backflips and curse at the fucking world before I change. I'm just a human. We all are. We all have to reach a point of pain where the terrifying nature of the changes that we wish to make in our lives, because anytime the unknown happens, it's uncomfortable. Anytime something happens that we don't like, that makes us uncomfortable, usually we should be running towards that, because that's how we're going to grow. Fuck, man. I love David Goggins so much for that stuff too, man. He talks about just spend time doing shit you hate doing every day. You know, for me, I know it doesn't make sense because of how I talk in here. I fucking hate setting boundaries, man. I hate telling people no because I want to be their friend and I want to know that I want them to know that I care about them, and I, to be honest too, sometimes just want them to know that I'm a good person. But I'm learning more and more that my relationship between me and my Creator is all I fucking need to have right in my heart. Everybody else can suck my fucking dick. Everybody. If my relationship with my Creator and me are on point, everybody else can suck my dick. Everybody else's problems are not my problems. And by making them my problem, I'm putting something in between me and my Creator. And that's my biggest goal right now. Literally, again, don't break character and to fucking focus on God in all things. My emotional baggage is literally a fucking blocking for the blessings that are trying to come to me. My inability to change and go towards difficulty is literally the fucking raincoat that's preventing the blessings of the rain from hitting my fucking head and giving me the ability to dance with joy in the rain with God in my heart, or shine with God in my heart. Literally. These feelings I experience, I'm fucking counseling myself as I'm talking to you guys. This is how fucking authentic and vulnerable I try to get on this shit. I just dead ass admitted on a video that I still struggle to this fucking day, still, with wanting people to like me. And the hardest ones for me to struggle with personally, the fucking most difficult relationships I struggle with wanting people to like me, are the people I like, the people I love the most, my family. That's the struggle. I want to say yes to my kids because I want them to fucking like me as their dad. But guess what? It's not my job to make my kids like me. It's my job to make sure my kids end up being the type of people that I would fucking be okay with interacting with later on in life. It's my job to give my kids the tools so that they don't end up total fucking losers. It's my job to let my kids experience pain until they change enough that they want the fucking right blueprint. I can provide a blueprint. I can't fucking beat it into them. I can provide a blueprint. I can't nice it into them either. It's a fucking fine line, man. Being a parent is probably the most difficult thing I've ever done. Fuck. Being me is the most difficult thing I've ever done. I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck to be me sometimes. But I know that I don't do it by trying to make other people like me. I know that I don't do it by trying to fucking be soft and like, just, let me help you out with that, buddy. Because here's the thing. Like, I'm dealing with some shit, trying to set boundaries, all right? I'm dealing with some stuff for the reality that my influence on my children has been 4 days a month. 4. For 10 plus years. I don't know if you guys know this. That's not a lot of time to fucking influence change in your children and their minds and their mentalities. Not only that, but it gives a lot of time for the opposite, which may be the case in some of your cases, to be influencing the opposite direction of what you're trying to do. And so now I'm fighting against like fucking 15 fucking years of this with one of my children. And it's hard, man. It's fucking hard. But I'm going to have to fucking let my heart break by watching his heart break sometimes. But I know the greatest part about that is when he builds himself back up and takes some fucking pride in himself as a man because he realizes dad's not coming to fucking save me anymore. He's going to be mad. It might take him years to realize it. But later on down the road, he's going to say, holy shit, my dad actually got it. That's exactly why he did what he did. It wasn't because he wanted to hurt me or watch me fucking languish. It was because he wanted me to learn the lessons of what it means to be a fucking man. And I can't speak on what it means to be a woman because I'm not a woman. But I can speak to me as a man, responsibility makes me a man. Not this, all right? Your equipment don't mean shit. It's how you fucking behave. How you think don't mean shit. It's how you behave, man. I was telling Lacey earlier, man, if I did everything I just wanted to on a whim that comes to my fucking head, I'd be dead if I'm lucky. In a trap house somewhere, if I'm super unlucky, living the same fucking life until I die, being a bad example to everybody around me. Oh, what's up, Christian? How you doing, man? But here's just, let me try to crystallize this as simply as possible. And this is something that I'm struggling with because I think that the biggest part of this is that I have control issues. We all do. We all do. And I want to control everything around me. I want to control things. The crazy part is I'm not trying to tell on you, honey, but like me and Lacey both have some bad FMC, fixed managed control. All right. Both of us have real bad FMC. But that can be really good because when we're applying it to ourselves, it's a fucking powerful tool. When we apply it to the world, we fuck our lives up and we fuck our peace of mind up. And I'm having to learn that I'm not God. Say it again real quickly here. I'm not God. And I know you all know that, all right? But I have to remind myself from time to time that I'm not God because I'll try to manage the world around me and manage people's emotions and their abilities and the things that might happen to them or not happen to them as if I fucking was. And it's not my fucking business. My business is to manage this. My business is to fix this. My business is to control this. It's interesting because when I apply that concept, FMC, fixed managed control, to the world around me, I get so much anxiety, I could stab myself in the heart until I stop breathing because I can't stand how fucking crazy it is to realize there's so much that could be being fixed. And then I'm like, oh, before I know it. But, when I apply fix to Justin, manage to Justin, control to Justin, it all falls into place because I realize I got no control over anything around here. I can't fix nobody else for them, and I can only manage my own emotions. I can only fix my own traumas. And really, I mean, to be fair, guys, I'm going to just tell you dead ass, like, I'm not coming on here to preach today. I don't really ever come on here to preach. I'm working through my problems on these videos the same as I'm hoping it might help some of you. And today, shit, I had a conversation with my boy before I got on this. I had a conversation with Lacey before I got on this, and my heart was on about it, and I just fucking got on and just spilled it all out to y'all. Authenticity is a universal principle that will take you to the next level no matter what you do, and it's crazy enough, but when you tell a bunch of people, some somewhat strangers in some cases, what you're intending to do, why you're intending to do it, and tell on yourself a little bit, man, if that doesn't set a whole other level, a whole other bar of following through on that, I really don't know what does. I recommend you do it. I recommend you get in front of your whole family at the next family gathering and tell them without a shred of doubt in your heart that you understand some of the problems that you have. Detail what they are, and then your plan of action to handle it. And then keep it simple. Here's my biggest, most simple thing that I'm going to do consistently to walk this out. I almost want to tattoo it on my fucking face, but I'd get lost with everything else. Just no, 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 no. No, not my problem. No, I can't help you with that. No, you're going to have to learn this lesson on your own. No, you're going to have to figure this out yourself. No, I know this is difficult. I know this hurts. I'm here for you. I'm ready to talk to you about your feelings, but I will not fix it for you, because if I do, I deny you the opportunity to learn what a bad motherfucker you are. Because all I'm proving if I do it for you is that I think you're weak. As a parent, all I'm doing if I do the things for my children, if I save them from the pain, is that I think that they are weak and that they're incapable of growing or becoming the people that I know that they are going to be. And more importantly, when I do those things, not only am I thinking they are weak, I'm making them weak. I'm actually actively turning them into the people that I don't want them to be. Just like me. Just like me. If I do the soft things, I turn myself into somebody I don't want to be. Fix, manage, control. Let me find out. Fix, manage, control. Let's all apply those principles to ourselves today. Let's fix ourselves. Let's manage our own emotions, and then let's control our reactions to the world. Love you. Talk to you guys tomorrow.